Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience, and thank you for joining our opportunity call regarding X39 stem cell technology. You know, someone invited you to this call who thought a whole lot of you. They really wanted to bless you with this information, and I know that you're going to walk away being very, very impressed with what you're about to hear. I'm going to introduce myself. My name is Verdita Monk. I reside in the Atlanta, Georgia area with my husband. And we're just really excited about what's happening in our lives and people around us. A friend of ours reached out to us over a year ago and he invited us to a call, just like the one you're on tonight. And he wanted us to hear this information, but he also wanted us to try this tiny little patch you're going to be hearing about tonight. He wanted us to put this patch on and see what our bodies would do, how our bodies would respond by using the patch. And so we were very, curious to say the least, because we didn't imagine what a patch like this would do. But when we heard testimonies on the call that we were on, we didn't think that it applied to us. We didn't think that we were the kind of people that needed a patch for pain or illness or anything like that, because that didn't apply to us. But needless to say, the very first night that we put this patch on, I slept like a baby. I had never slept like that in years. But my husband, his sleep was very unusual because my husband was a chronic snorer. I mean, just snoring and coughing and choking and everything you can imagine during the night. It was terrible, literally. And I was always beating on him, trying to wake him up and all this kind of stuff. The very first night, my husband stopped snoring. And so hopefully that gets your attention, because you're going to hear some things tonight that you would not even imagine a patch would do, a tiny little patch would do. So let me start sharing my screen, because I just wanted you to know why I'm excited, why I'm here, and what this patch is going to do for you. Okay. So now here's the big question. Have you been patched yet? Now, you may have been patched by somebody who invited you on this call. You may not. But if you haven't, we're going to make sure that you get patched, because the first thing that's going to happen when you get patched is a certain copper peptide in your body called GHKCU is going to be elevated. It's going to be elevated. And when that happens, the stem cells that are dormant in your body are going to be reactivated. That's really cool. I know you probably never even imagined that your stem cells were dormant. But do you know that by the time we're age 30, half of them are dormant? They're just lying there. And by the time we're 60, they're almost completely gone. And therefore, our bodies are not in a position to heal themselves like God intended for them to. And so that's what's going to happen when you put the patch on. And of course, your body is going to be regenerated. That's really, really exciting. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about stem cell technology, in case you've heard about stem cell injections or something like that. See, stem cell injections are what people turn to or rely on because their body is in such chronic condition, they just can't take it anymore. They've tried everything. The doctors have done everything they could to help them, and nothing worked. So they decided, they've heard of stem cell injections, and they do work many times. But let me tell you why, it may not be a good idea. Because when you get injections, number one, they're very expensive, anywhere from $5,000 to $100,000 per injection. 30% of the time, they don't work. They're localized, meaning if you need an injection in your knee, but yet you've got issues with your heart, that injection is not going to help your heart. Okay. So it's localized. And, everybody can't afford to do that. And insurance does not cover it. Okay. And there's no money back guarantee. No guarantee will work, and no money back guarantee. And so doesn't sound like a good idea to me. This is why we're talking about this patch. And you're going to learn a little bit more in a moment. But I want to introduce you to a gentleman who is just an amazing CEO and inventor of this patch. We call it the X39 stem cell reactivation patch. Now, this gentleman, David Schmidt, has over 180 patents. Now, that's really significant, because who has that many patents? I've never heard of anyone with that many patents. He is a scientist and inventor, and he specializes in age reversing. And back in 2008, he started focusing his attention on stem cell research. But the way he got started, I need to tell you a quick story about how he even got started with all these patents. He was hired by the federal government back in 2004 when the Navy SEALs were on this new project where they needed to be energized. They were not exposed to light for over 36 hours at a time. So it took him about 3 years to create his first patch, which was an energy patch for them. And it was very, very successful. Word started spreading all over the country to universities and doctors and everywhere. And it just his business exploded. This is how he started his company. And so it took about 10 years back in 2000, about 10 years, a few years ago, it took him 10 years to develop this patch right here, the X39, $4.5 million to bring it to market. And so all of this is just very impressive about David Schmidt. I've had the opportunity to meet him a couple of times, and I'm going to tell you something. He's a very humble individual. He really cares about people. He really cares about what he's doing. And, you know, it's almost like when he's talking, you just get the chills because his mind is so advanced and literally. And so he's a very impressive individual. But let me tell you about this patent, because this patch is patented, which puts us in a very unique situation. Reading right directly from the patent, it says that the patch elevates copper peptides in our body. Remember, I told you your copper peptides were going to be elevated. And when that happens, that in turn reactivates the stem cells in our body that are dormant. You know, it's proven that when the higher the level of copper peptides in your body, that will reactivate stem cells. The problem is nobody could do it except for David Schmidt. That's why it took him 10 years. This is a very sophisticated situation we're talking about. And so it also improves energy and many other things, you guys. So this is patented until for the next 17 years, okay? So we're really in a very unique situation. It's only been patented since 2020. Now, this is a very proprietary form of phototherapy. Phototherapy is just a simple way, a term for, you know, light therapy. For example, when you go out in the sun, what happens? The vitamin D in your body is elevated. That's a form of phototherapy. And when photosynthesis, when the flowers, you know, the light helps flowers grow. And so those are all forms of phototherapy. And so that's what this patch is. It's just, we are light beings. And when this patch is applied anywhere in your body, it elevates the copper peptides, which in turn reactivate your stem cells. In the middle are nanocrystals, formulated in a lab, very, very thin, just like a Band-Aid. You peel paper off the back like you would a Band-Aid. And then the light of our body is going to reflect off of these crystals that are right here in the middle. I mean, it's just that simple, you guys. It's non-transdermal, doesn't interfere with any medication you're taking, has no drugs or stimulants. So we're in a great situation where we don't have to actually take medication, and this doesn't compete with medication. You know, we don't have to take medication, you know, regarding how we're using this patch, but it also does not compete with medication that you're taking. So once again, our products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. We're just letting you know that your body is going to get rebooted and you're going to, you know, it's going to start healing itself. Now, here are some of the benefits that you might experience, and you're going to hear some people that have received some of these benefits tonight. One of the benefits is increased strength. You know, we're talking about dormant stem cells. We're talking about as we're getting older. Do you realize we get weaker as we get older? So to be able to have strength, you're thinking about your old 90-year-old grandmother right now who's not strong. That's what we're talking about, increasing your strength, reduced inflammation. Okay, you're going to hear someone that I mean, many people have any type of ailment you have in your body, almost guaranteed there's some inflammation there. Increased stamina, energy, mental clarity. I can't tell you the type of energy and mental clarity. My mind just goes on and on because of the mental clarity that I'm receiving from this patch. Restores muscular and skeletal conditions, as we age, those bones, our skeletal system gets porous. I mean, if we break and fall, we fall and break a bone, it's very hard to heal. But this skeletal condition is these muscles in our skeletal system is going to be restored. Improve sleep. I told you about my husband. I told you about me the very first night. And many people, almost everybody I know that's wearing this patch, talks about how deeply they sleep. Improve skin appearance. You know, people that have had keloids. If you know, keloids is a condition where your skin wears a scar and it won't heal itself. Many people's keloids are going away. Many people are looking years and years younger. Your hair is growing back, all kinds of things. Now, we're here to achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Once again, we're not intending to diagnose, treat, cure, or present any disease or medical condition. Now, I want to remind you that, you know, this is patented. So there are over 80 case studies, and you have to prove something. And so just understand, this is not something we're throwing up in the air. This is something proven, and case studies are documented, okay, on a website called This Is It Info. Now, here's what may happen to you, or it's going to happen to you. In the very first few days, over 4,000 genes begin to reset. That's significant. And just to compare that to something else that resets your genes, you know, when you drink red wine, they say that red wine helps your heart. And do you realize only about 2 genes are reset when you drink a glass of wine, a red wine? But can you imagine 4,000 genes just by wearing this patch for a few days? Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. I'm going to share something with you in a few moments where you're going to see someone's brain become balanced. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. Our collagen it was holding our bones, our muscles, all of this together. It's everywhere in our body. Within 3 months, it begins to be increased. And within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. You know, that's really significant because, you know, matter of fact, I have a gentleman on the phone who was wearing a pacemaker for 3 years. And after 6 weeks of wearing the patch, when he went back to the cardiologist, they said that his heart was no longer relying on a pacemaker. You know why? Because the stem cells. See, whatever stem cell your body needs, your body goes to that part of your body. His stem cells, they reactivated and went around that heart and reversed reactivated those stem cells. That's why the doctor said you no longer relying on that pacemaker. This is huge, you guys. This is very, very significant information. So look at everything I just said and see, can you relate to that? So we're not talking about anti-aging, you guys. According to David Smith, we're talking about age reversing. How cool is that? Now, I want to share you with this topography map with you because there was a lady who was 77 years old who placed the X39 on the back of her neck. In session 1, this is what her brain looked like. We talked about, you know, unbalanced brain. Remember we said that? Well, in this case, she had all this inflammation in her brain. That's the orangey red area. And so she had lack of brain coherence. In session 2, which was 3 weeks later, all of the inflammation was gone. And so it was improved brain coherence. 3 more weeks later, a total of 6 weeks on this patch, she had a complete turnaround, better brain coherence. So it could be noted that when she came in, her brain was hyperactive. Her brain calmed down dramatically at the second visit. And after wearing the X39 patch for 3 weeks, her brain remained calm after wearing the patch for 6 weeks. You guys, that's just, that could be our brains. All of us, our brains may have inflammation in it. And that's why we have so many people with imbalance in their brain. So how do you wear the patch? Very, very simple. You really could wear it anywhere. But in this diagram, as you can see, they're showing it below the belly button or behind the neck. And that's only because during those case studies, they needed to be consistent. They had like a group A and a group B, and, you know, somewhere below the belly button, some behind the neck. But you really could wear it anywhere because this is systematic. It just goes through your body, all through your system. And so, but the main thing is you want to wear 12 hours on and 12 hours off. If you start at 8 in the morning when you brush your teeth, you can take it off at 8 at night when you take your shower and throw it away, because you're going to get 30 of these you're going to get 30 of these in a package. So you just put one on every day. Then you can wear more than one at a time if you want to, but you don't have to. Here's the thing. You want to drink plenty of water. I got my water right here because I'm always drinking water because it's very important to stay hydrated. So the patch, flows. This is energy we're talking about, you guys. This is new world. This is new wave. This is a different form of medicine. I mean, I shouldn't say it's medicine, but it's just a new way of helping our bodies heal themselves. Okay. Now, I told you this patch is very sophisticated, as you can see by some of the things I'm explaining, but yet it's very simple to explain. And so what I want to do with you, I want to share a few testimonies with you. I have a live testimony, but I do have a couple because I want you to understand what I mean when I say imbalanced brain. So let me see if I can find that. Okay, that did not work. Okay, let me see if I can find that. Maybe it's here. There we go. Okay.
Everyone, how are you? We are so excited to be here. What a dynamic group of people just giving their little nuggets throughout the day. So my name is Olga Swikowski from Bergen County, New Jersey, and this is Javi Solis, my soon-to-be husband. We came here 6 months ago, and I've shared my story with some people before. I don't know if all of you know it, and if you don't, here's a piece. My son has severe autism. We have been doing non-traditional treatments for about 5 years now. We have traveled internationally for stem cell injections. We have seen small improvements with those injections. When this patch was introduced to us 6 months ago, I said, this is holistic. There's nothing that can go wrong here. The worst thing I can do is nothing. So we put the patch on, and within weeks, we saw tremendous improvements. 90% of the autistic community, if anybody here has somebody in the community, 90% of them have motor challenges. So when we put that patch on, I call it the brain body disconnect. So we put that patch on and we see things start working. We see my son started riding a bike. He's swinging on a swing now. He's 9 years old. He was never able to do that. So this patch, in my personal opinion, is the best thing that we ever done for my son. And I will never, ever go internationally to get stem cell injections. So there's nothing else like it.
Set the stage for delicious.
Okay, so you see what I mean. That particular testimony was highlighting the idea of a brain, that autism is a form where your brain is imbalanced. And really, literally within weeks, her son started riding a bike. Can you just imagine years he couldn't do that? Then all of a sudden, that's what we mean. Can you see how important this is to them and how important it is to many people that you know? Let me go back because I have another testimony that I want to share with you. So I hope I can get back there. Okay. I may have messed up, you guys. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to do this. I'm gonna do this because I kind of feel like I'm gonna mess up here. But I want to invite someone to the call to share a powerful testimony. This lady is out of the Fayetteville, North Carolina area. She continues to have more testimonies, even of her own. So Miss Gwen Millsap, would you please unmute yourself, share your screen, and share your testimony, your amazing testimonies with everyone.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Hi, Perdita. As you know, I've been doing this, or you may not know, since December the 8th, I think is when we were introduced to this patch. And it was just so happened that they came to our church to do a trauma boot camp. And when they came, the lady with them introduced us to LifeWave. Everybody got patched that day. I mean, there was all kind of things going on that was amazing to us. People walking that was on canes, and but my testimony is I've had sciatic nerve damage since well, my daughter's 47 years old, my baby girl, and my back has been, it would get inflamed, and I couldn't bend over, I couldn't twist, I couldn't move, I could not walk sometimes. I always have a heating pad on my back, and I would take ibuprofen for my back. But when it just had me miserable, and you learn to live with this pain. So when they patched me that day, and which they used the ice wave, but then I started using the X39 to continue the relief. And after a few minutes, all that pain that was in my back, I mean, my legs, everything would just ache and hurt. It was miserable. And she put that patch on me, and within 5 minutes, I was doing calisthenics. I could bend, I could move, I could twist, I could get back to doing exercise and things that I hadn't done in over 47 years, because Mika's 47 now. And when you first put it on, you're like, is this my mind, or is this really happening to my body? So I got so excited. I came home and I told my husband about it, and he didn't believe any of it. My daughter had purchased the patches because they ran out. And so I put an X39 on his back. And when I tell you, my husband was in a debilitating state. He had a neuropathy where he had missed church. He loved church, and he had missed church from May until October. He was not able to go. When I put that patch on him, and he was sitting down in the den, he even had bone spurs. He was on a cane, and he just shuffled along. He couldn't really walk. And I said, okay, just let it sit on your back, and I'm on your neck, and I'm gonna check on you in a few minutes. Well, in a few minutes, I called down to him and I said, babe, how's it doing? And then he didn't answer. I said, babe, he still didn't answer. So I went to look, and my husband was gone. I looked out the window, his truck was gone. So he came back in about 20 minutes. I said, well, what happened to you? Where did you go? He said, I drove back, got in the truck, drove back to the pond, and got out. I just had to thank God. He said, I was just praising God at this patch. I cannot believe it. And he left his cane here, and he has not picked that cane up. That was in January. He even changed his name. He said, my name will be Jimmy Patch Millsap. But I just want to tell you the power of that patch. He went to the doctor. He's a diabetic. His A1C went from 8 down to 6.3. The doctor couldn't believe it, because he's been going to her for 17 years, and it's never been under 7. That's the lowest it would get, but it always go back up. But as you know, every day you get a testimony. Every day there's something else happening to your body. If you can see this little bottle here, this bottle right here, it was like my nitroglycerin that I put under my tongue. It's Highland leg cramps. I had severe leg cramps back in, 96. I want to say 90 through 96. I would have cramps so bad that if we were driving on a trip that was 3 or 4 hours away, I would have to get out of the car because of the pain. If I kept my legs still just for an hour or so, I had to continue, had restless leg syndrome. At night in the bed, if I happened to bend my knees and curl up, I would come out of the bed just in pain. And sometimes I would have such excruciating pain that my husband couldn't. He said, what can I do? Can I help you? I said, no, you can't touch me. And it was peripheral artery disease. So now in I think it was 2018, I went to the doctor, start going to a vein doctor, and they went in and started removing and tying off veins. And a lot of you women probably have experienced that. But even with that being done, that last 2 years, I had to go back again. And I'm telling you, I had to stop wearing heels. I had to stop doing caffeine. And it was so much that I had to stop doing that would bring on the pain. And my legs, you could look at them and they would have indents in it. It would be indented from where my muscles were cramping so bad. Even at work, I worked in a bank and I sit at a desk. I would have to get up and walk around, go to the restroom in order to stretch my legs and stay in there until those cramps left. And they were just not little, they were deep infused cramps deep into my legs and my calves, even my foot. And so I noticed in January, they were easing up. I got to the point that I would be crossing my legs and sitting at my computer, and I didn't have any pain in my legs. So that went on and went on. So last month I was telling my husband, I said, do you know, I have not had a cramp in my legs, and I don't even have to take these anymore. I just keep them. It's like a crutch, I guess, but I don't even need those. I can do anything. I'm exercising again. I'm crossing my legs. I sleep well in the bed at night. That pain, I don't have to go back, because I was going back every other year to get them to redo the veins if they came loose. And it was just so painful. But the patch, just the X39, has taken all those cramps away. So I haven't called. The doctor called, said, do I need to see him? No, I don't. So you're going to notice something every other day or month or so, that your body is being restored and healed. So I'm excited about that, because that pain was crucial. And I'm excited, Verdita. I can't
Wow.
see
Well,
what's
thank
going to
you.
happen next.
Well, thank you so much, Gwen. Between you and your husband, you all had several powerful testimonies. And so, that's all I really needed was Gwen's testimony, because she covered a lot of things, you guys. Can you just imagine what kind of pain this woman was in? And she did tell me that she has not had any pain, any of these spasms that she would have since January. And she didn't tell you, but she said she was having them every other day, at least every other day. But so to not have that since January, and she just started the patch in December, is very, very significant. I hope by now you're understanding what we mean when we say, the testimonies tell it all. And when you understand how significant this is to people's lives. Now, all of this information that you need about the patch, the case studies, there's many doctors' reviews, all of that stuff is right there on thisisit.info.com. Please go to that site. And just because, people want to just hear more, and we just wouldn't have time to go over all of that tonight. But let me tell you more about our company, LifeWave. Our company is a 19-year-old company. It's not a fly-by-night company. It's here to stay because it is doing so well. As a matter of fact, we were voted as, I shouldn't say voted, but we have achieved the level being the fastest growing company, home-based business company in the world. It's in the category of network marketing, a website called businessforhome.org, where they document all the companies. And our company is #1 worldwide. We're in over 75 countries now. We grew from, in the last few years, we've grown from 20 million a year. And when that X39 came out, it just changed everything, up to 320 million, but we ended 2023 at 420 million, you guys. This company has momentum, and this is why we're so excited to be a part of this company, because that X39 is not a Me Too product. This is not something that you just, can get anywhere. No one else is developing this, because it is patented. And so most companies have things like skin, supplement care, weight loss. Yes, those are great, but not what we have with the X39. So from a business standpoint, know what you have your hands on. This is just a chart that from Business for Home that shows you the momentum that they didn't even put 2023 on here, but look how this company's growing, okay? So we're #1 in momentum according to businessforhome.org. So I want you to think about what's important in your life. I like to put family right up there at the top, like where it is, because family is important. What are we without family? You can have all the money in the world, but if you don't have time for your family, or let's just say that you're sick and your family has to take care of you because you're so sick, who wants to live like that? And that's why my husband and I made a decision that we want to be proactive with our health. We'll be wearing this patch for the rest. Yes, we might get sick, but if we do, it won't be as bad, because our bodies are going to be healing itself because we're wearing this X39. But but another thing that's important to me and my husband, and this may relate to you, I'm just sharing with you why we're doing this, because we're at retirement age. We're self-employed, and guess what? many people are in positions like us where they just don't have the money saved, enough money saved to keep up with the economy. You know, the Social Security is not going to be enough to cover us, whether you believe it or not, unless all of your bills are paid, your house is paid, all of your bills, no utilities, no nothing. But inflation keeps going up. We don't want to be in that situation. So this right here is creating what we call a residual income stream, meaning you're going to be getting money, getting paid month after month, year after year from the money that you're going to be able to earn if you decide to partner with us. See, you can partner with us and just use this patch. I know you want to use the patch, but if you decide, basically make a decision that you want to help us spread the word, all you got to do is tell your family and people like that about it. And guess what? You're going to be compensated. So look what happens in our compensation plan. If this is you and you go and tell your aunt about it, let's say your aunt was somebody like Gwen and her husband with all kinds of things going on in their body. And then you go and tell your cousin about it, like Olga, who had a son that was autistic, and they decide they want to use the patch. We're just sharing it with people because we don't really know what people are going through. And if they decide to purchase a package, they'll be inserted in this structure here. We call it a binary. It just means you have two teams that you're developing, a left team and a right team. And when your total people that you have personally enrolled reaches 4, you become a what we call a manager, and that puts you in a position where you can start earning. You're in your way where you can begin over time to earn up to $25,000 a week in the binary. Not saying it's going to happen overnight, but there are many people within a year, literally, that are earning up to $25,000 a week just in this one way of pay alone. Because keep in mind, every single person that files in this binary, some of them are people you don't even know. Maybe the person that shared this with you shared it with a person and they fell under you. Do you realize you get paid on those people as well? Even if you don't know them, even if you had nothing to do with them coming into this business, you have the opportunity of getting paid on those people as well. Now, our matching bonus, that's very exciting, you know, because those people that you just brought on board, let's say that those people are what you call your first level. And I'm just going to give you an example of how this works. Let's say Ms. Gwen, who just shared her testimony, she is patching everybody. That woman is I'll call her a patching queen. Let's say in a very short time, she starts earning $1,000 a week in the binary. That's very possible. When she does that, if you were the one that enrolled Gwen, you'd make $250 or 25%. That's very significant. Suppose there was 10 people like Gwen that you told about this. That means if they did the same $1,000, you'd make $2,500 in 1 week, not just $250. Do you see how powerful this is? But guess what? Gwen, remember, she's telling everybody about this. She's signing up people left and right. And all the people that Gwen signs up will fall on your second level. And therefore, you get 20% of whatever they earn in the binary. If Gwen brought in 10 people and those other people, those other 9 people that you brought in, enrolled 10 people, you're looking at 100 people on your second level, 1,000 people on the third level. This is just based on everybody enrolling 10. So they may just enroll 2, who knows? I'm just trying to give you an example. Very, very lucrative. And it is life-changing. And now this is why my husband and I now see a way to be able to retire. We couldn't see that. We couldn't see this a year ago, maybe 15 months ago. We could not see ourselves retiring. And that is the honest truth. But we can see it now because the money comes gives week after week, month after month. Why do you think? Because these people are not getting off this X39. They're going to continue to use it every single month. Okay. Now, here's a form that you may have received from somebody, because this form basically captures the information that's going to be needed for you to get some of these patches. All we basically need is basic stuff like your name, address, date of birth. You don't even have to provide your Social Security number right now. You just need to provide a form of payment and which one of these packages you want. Now, let me explain more about the packages. If you said, you know, Verdita, I like what I hear. I'm really excited about trying this patch. I got some things that I want to take care of my body. And that's all you want to do. You're not interested in necessarily sharing with other people. You may want to consider the silver package. Why? Because think of Miss Gwen. She couldn't, if she wanted to use the patch and surely her husband is using it, she would not have enough if she just bought one sleeve. but that one sleeve that she would have purchased as a customer and paid $150, if she got one for her husband too as a customer, now she's paying $300. Well, wouldn't it be better for her to pay $300 and have 3 sleeves as opposed to just one sleeve, or as opposed to 2 sleeves for $300? So basically, you're saving money here. That's for people who just want to use the patch. Now, the gold member is the who says, I like what I hear. I got plenty of people that needs this patch. I know they do. You're going to be sending out these envelopes to people with a card instruction card in it, telling them how to use the patch. You're going to be putting samples in it, and you need enough to spread the word. You need to do that. Okay, you need enough to do that. So you need the gold package, but the gold package is $500, and you get 5 sleeves. You get each still $100 a sleeve. Plus, you're going to be able to be positioned to get promoted to that first rank that I told you about, manager. There are benefits to being a manager, which I don't have time to go over right now. The person that invited you could elaborate a little bit more. The last package I want to highlight is our diamond package. Why? Because the diamond package is for those people out there who say, I'm a serious entrepreneur. I really want to get to the money. Just think about this. If you had a store, but there's no inventory on the shelf, you're really not in business. So the diamond pack is kind of like that. You're putting yourself in a position to be able to share with many people, like we did when we first got in the diamond pack. But it also equips you with inventory. I had a person text me yesterday morning saying, you know what, I think now, and she was just wanted to purchase a sleeve from me. I happen to keep inventory on me. She didn't sign up as a business partner. I just retailed her one of these sleeves for $150. But you know what she said? I need another one of those. And, she was so adamant about not being a member, and I'm not going to force her to, because I've got plenty of other members who want to be here. But guess what? I had the inventory. And if you're a diamond pack, that puts you in a position to service your people. But if you got a person that just got started, like Gwen, you don't want them waiting 3, 4, 5 days before their package comes in. You want to be able to go into your inventory and loan her a whole sleeve or a couple of sleeves so that she can go and patch everybody. This lady's been patching people since day one, and you don't want to slow anybody down. So if you want to think big, like you want to get the diamond pack. If you want my opinion, that's the package we got, and we made our money back and more the very first week. Now, the other part that's important about any of these packages, if you want to earn money in the binary, you want to maintain your points, meaning you want to order at least 1 or 2 sleeves a month. 1 sleeve will keep you active, meaning the points that are generated. Remember, I tell you, people are starting to fall under you that you bring in and other people bring in, and they those packages that people are buying, or even the reorders every month of orders, those generate points, and those points equal money. So you will earn up to $100 a week if you get 1 sleeve. But if you want to, maximize your money, you want to get 2 sleeves. It only makes sense simply because there's 2 people in your household. If you're married, if you're not married, you still have people that you want to continue. You still want to build your business, and you want to be able to have patches on hand. So this 2 sleeve auto ship is going to allow you to keep your points, and it's going to help you maximize a comp plan. Okay, it's very, very important. So you do not want your points to flush and say that you don't want to be on auto ship. Your points will go away in 30 days if you're not on auto ship. So, there's information. This is a website I want to refer you to if you decide you want to partner with us, because this is really, we have a system in place. Everything you need to know how to do this, recordings of all kinds of calls we've had, just all kinds of information, our breakdown of our compensation plan, how to get started on all of this is on thisisitteam.com. And so I just want to let you know that we're excited that you hopefully are partnering with us tonight. And please get back with the person that invited you to the call, and they can, get you started. But I also want you to know we have a call just like this one coming up at 10 p.m. Eastern time. That would be 7 p.m. Pacific time. On this same Zoom code, Mr. Z. Kendrick, I believe, is going to be presenting. You don't want to miss that call. So please get back with that person. and we'll see you all at the very, very top of this organization. We're gonna pour into you and change some lives together. Have a good evening.